Honorable Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Pro-Chancellor, members of the community staff, distinguished colleagues assembled on the dais, the Honorable Chief Guest, and all of you who are now going to receive the degree. I would first like to deeply thank the Shiv Nada University for conferring this honor on me. I'm deeply moved, and personally, it's been a very humbling experience. That is a personal thanks, but as a citizen of India, I would also like to thank the Shiv Nada University for emphasizing on biodiversity, on nature conservation, and for the premises that you have, and of building a cadre of people who will fight for the survival and ecological safety of this country. You must have received a number of lectures, and this is about the time when you would like to leave. But I cannot give up this opportunity, temptation to pass on something which was told to me 65 years ago when I received my BA honors degree by my Chancellor, the incomparable Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, whose knowledge of Indian philosophy and the mastery of English language was second to none in the world. He was then, of course, the Vice President of India. You are at the crossroad of life. You have finished one phase of education, and you are now embarking upon another profession. And you are being faced with a dilemma, which is the dilemma of life. But it's particularly a dilemma at this juncture, which is exemplified in a shlok, which Dr. Radhakrishnan recited, and I'm just conveying it to you. Janami dharmam nachmeva pravatti, janami adharmam nachmeva nivrutti. I know the truth, I know the dharma. I cannot, or I do not attain it. I do not want to attain it, I cannot attain it. I know the untruth, adharma. I cannot escape it. I cannot abstain from it. You will enter profession, and you will see around you something. I'm sorry if I talk in a slightly morbid manner, but it's a fact of life what you will face. You will perhaps face and join a group who are cheating, who are deviating from the laws of the land. Maybe your boss has a hand in the till, as it were. And the choice will be either to join the bandwagon, the gang, or to remain neutral, keep away from it, without rocking the boat, as it were, or to be a whistleblower. The choice is yours. I'm not going to suggest which is right, which is wrong, but please remember there is life after the job. There is a life after retirement, and while you can cheat the whole world, can you cheat your own conscience? You can earn a lot of money, and I know a lot of colleagues and friends and whoever who earned a lot of money, who can't sleep at night, who are haunted by a spectre of the law catching up. Is that worth it? The choice is yours. Again, I would like to just emphasize something which was said by a very, very moving speech from my predecessor, Kailash. In India, we have some great traditions, but there is also a tradition of karma. हम क्या करें? We must have done something wrong in the previous life, so we are suffering in this karmic. Bhagwan ने यह चाहा था. God is building. I believe in God. I believe in karma, but what about aap karma? What about doing yourself? There is a motto. God helps those who help themselves. One man can make a difference. If Vidyarthi had said, those poor slaves, what? Unka karma. They must have done something wrong in life and therefore they are suffering. And he could have kept quiet. He fought. And he won. Each of you can fight for a cause and win and make a difference. Each individual matter. Each can make a difference. Please never forget that. The atmosphere is against you. The trend, the milieu is against you. But you can make a difference. I will come to environment. And I won't waste your time too much, I hope. But it's this. The environmental factor in this country, the situation as it were, is very, very interesting. It's a paradox. India is one of the easiest countries in the world for conservation because the people are life respecting. There is vegetarianism. There is an empathy for life. There is sanctity of nature. There are communities who lay down their lives to save animals. But we are a passive environmental community. There is no green movement in this country. There is no green party. And in a democracy like ours, a vibrant democracy, the politicians do not get vote on environmental issues, they lose them. I have been told by my political friends कि आपकी जो advice मानेंगे तो हम election हार जाएंगे. And election is the main thing for any politician. That's what matters most. And they will not get votes till the people say that this must be done. I give you a concrete example. At the time of drafting of the Wildlife Protection Act, it was terrible. There were VIPs going around with fur. I'm talking about the elite of life, the world over, wearing a leopard skin coat and tiger skin wat and scarves made out of snow leopard. Okay. Thank you. I should be laying off. Thank you. We drafted the law, but you know when it came to stop? When little children started pelting women wearing fur coats with eggs in the streets of New York, and the girls and the boys started telling their mothers that leopard skin looked better on the leopard mama than it does on you. That is when it stopped. Therefore, that is what I would like you to convey. And if we have failed, and I have failed, and my generational failure is that we have not created this mass movement. As I said, it is a paradox, and the paradox is that environmental consciousness, ethos, impetus comes from the top, not from the bottom. It should from the bottom, but it's come from the top. When the Viceroy was interested, like Lord Curzon was, he went to Junagadh, didn't shoot a lion, and told the Nawab, you must protect the lion, and things changed. The princes are accused, and perhaps rightly so, shooting thousands of animals. But let me tell you this, there was more wildlife in those princely states where the princes were interested in shooting than in those who were not. Because it's a very specific thing. हम मारेंगे, तुमको नहीं मारने देंगे, कोई नहीं मार सकता. And with it you save the habitat. I'm not giving that as a role model, but that's what it is. The same happened with the British, same happened with the Prime Ministers of India. Today nobody talks about environment, we pay lip service. And it is extremely important today to save nature. We talk about animals. To me, an animal is only a part of us. They are animate representatives of something larger. The habitat, the forest. They are the faculty, not the university. You must view it as a whole. And today, in the day of climate change, we are cutting forests. We are destroying forests, all in the name of development. I mean, can you have development without ecological security? As was mentioned, the Supreme Court appointed a committee of which I was appointed the chairman to judge the ecological value of trees. And I learnt a lot of things myself. Do you know that only the oxygen generated by one sal tree in only 100 years, they can live to up to 200 years if you don't chop them down, generates more oxygen of greater value than the timber. That's only the oxygen generation. Carbon sequestration, which we need, of water retention, of binding the soil. It is, if we give a total value of the trees today, I was told actually when I was told, my secretary told me, Ranjit, ये मत बताओ, एक झाड़ नहीं काट पाएंगे, which is true. I am a believer of, how can we not have development? We have to have development, but can we have development which sweeps under the carpet the total ecological? It should be a total cost-benefit analysis. Put all the cards on the table and then decide what is. It's very interesting that when I was in service, the PSUs were the ones who were doing the so-called development work, electricity, and they would listen because public sector cannot do a few things and profit is not that much of a motive. Now development has come into the hands of private entities and the thing has changed. I will like to recite, I'm reminded of a very famous incident which is not so well known. At the height of the reign of terror which followed, the aftermath of the French Revolution, and the Jacobins, led by Robespierre, were hammer and tongs at the Girondins under the leadership of Danton. Robespierre got control and hauled up and the guillotine was working over time, over 3,500 people had their heads chopped off in the guillotine. At that time, ideologue, Madame de Stael, was hauled up on this. And at the top of the scaffold, she uttered an immortal phrase: "O liberty, what crimes are committed in thy name." So when I see these development projects coming about, which will have so many lakh trees gone, this gone, all, and that too all covered up, I mutter to myself under my breath, "Oh development, what crimes are committed in thy name." I would like you to understand this, to be rational. Ecology and a development can do. It's question of ye na karo, ye karo. Thoda sa kharcha aur hoga. It will cost you a little more, but do it. The nation will pay your price for your profiteering, and you must be paid. I'm even asking people to pay for the 2% profit that they've earned. CSR. Do you realize that there are 106 companies I'm fighting to save the bustard, who should have become the national bird of India, but that's another story. There are less than 100 left. I and 13 others won a PIL. And the Supreme Court has ordered that undergrounding should be done to save the bustard from extinction. Not one line has gone underneath. The highest court of the land has given this order, not obeyed. We are asking that 16 of those 102 companies, 104, we don't know the others, have gone on the net to say their net profit is 29,600 crores in 1 year. 2% of that is almost 600 crores. Can that 600 crores not be utilized by only those 16 companies to go underground? CSR, which is required under the law. That is the kind of thing that is. And that hurts. This hurts that despite this, and let me end by saying something more. The right of education, which Kailashi had to fight for and won, came. But two other things came earlier in the Constitution. The fundamental duty of a citizen is to protect forest and wildlife. The directive principle of state policy tells the governments of the country, the governments shall, not will, shall protect forest and wildlife. Constitutional obligations. And when we break the Constitution, it's a worse crime than breaking any law. If any of you go out into the field and if you champion the cause, my job will be done. I will just end up by one little thing. You are not anti-development. You are not anti-national. The environmental thing is, say, you have alternate energy, but please do it not here, somewhere else, little away, just that much extra. So, while we are giving that, you may be hauled up. Some people have died. Some people have been called environmental jihadis. Environmentalists today are nationalists and patriots. What is the definition? And patriotism and nationalism are the catchwords of today. The dictionary defines patriotism as someone who selflessly, with no personal gain, fights to save the motherland. Environmentalists have nothing to gain personally and a lot to lose. Some, as I said, have lost their lives. They are fighting for the motherland. I'm sorry if I have to use a very crass word in this august company. If a Jawan is a patriot to save the motherland, of course he is. An environmentalist is also a patriot because he tries to prevent the loot and the rape of motherland. He is a nationalist too. He is a patriot. So remember, if you are a thing, आप दबिए नहीं, आप गौरव से कहिए कि हम पेट्रियट हैं. Thank you very much.